Good afternoon. In this week's vlog, I will be discussing the concepts of euthanasia and death and dying as it relates to this ethics class. So, one common conception of death that we have today would be whether or not it is an ethical decision to euthanize not only animals but human beings that are going and suffering immense amounts of stress and trauma and suffering. And one common thing that we have to ask ourselves is whether or not it's a good decision to do morally. With that being said, one could ask, there's different ways to go about it in different situations for each each patient or potentially dying patient, as if that person is conscious or not. And if they are conscious, obviously they would have to give the okay or not. If not, that would be deemed as involuntary euthanasia or murder, and some people would say. And one thing that I noticed coming across the text was that there's different states that legalize euthanasia and ones that do not. So that is interesting to learn. That I did not know there was that many discrepancies among different states that allow that. Previous experience that I've had with euthanasia would be my pet Bandit. When I had to take him to the vet to euthanize him once he couldn't walk anymore and he was blind and he was just on his last leg of life. It was kind of sad. With that being said, on the topic of death, one topic that we touched in the discussion board that I wanted to bring up here in this video log was the open discussion, having that with families once loved ones are on their deathbed or dying. That it's important, just have that open dialogue with them as to whether or not what they want to do with their funeral proceedings, and how they would want to go out if they were in an instance where one had to be euthanized or they were unconscious. So it's a good decision to have these ethical conversations with them before they're past the point of consciousness. That's just something that's important to do as well. Overall, I could say that this chapter was very helpful in bringing awareness on the issues of euthanasia as it applies to a ethical decision, and I will definitely be bringing that into the future when I have to make tough decisions like this with loved ones. Overall, a very helpful unit.